for all the right things.
So that might have been your first fight, but when did you fall?
Buenas noches, compañeros, un gusto saludarlos. Assassin's Creed Odyssey episodio 29, el torneo de los 4 campeones. Vámonos, acabamos de salir del trabajo, vámonos, directo a lo que vinimos el día de hoy. Espero estén teniendo muy buen día. Hi, good evening everyone, I hope you had a good day. Today the tournament of the 4 champions. Here we go. Let's go. Assassin's Creed Odyssey episode 29. Holy shit.
I was pissed off and I felt like Hagler got robbed. You know what I mean? But that was really what made me start to love the battle. Like, I was 17, and then after that, USA's Tuesday Night Fights came out on television. It was on every Tuesday night. Religiously, never missed Tuesday Night Fights. I was there, watched all those fights, and
Aquí vamos, vámonos. El torneo de los 4 campeones es temprano, son las 10. Bueno.
Just the production, but I would say the feel and the style, all those things.
A life's dedication. Evolve de Anira.
Things that I loved about boxing and things that I hated about boxing, right down to the commentary.
You loved and hated the commentary.
Certain things that I loved about boxing, I incorporated into the UFC. Things that I hated about boxing, I made sure that the UFC stayed far away from. I think I can't stand Larry Merchant. And I used to watch HBO boxing and mute the commentary so that I didn't have to listen to them. Lampley too. You know, you would spend money for the pay-per-view to watch these people that you idolize, to hear these idiots rip them apart while the fight was happening. You know,
They will criticize.
yeah, 100% apart.
I've gotten used to the UFC, so I kind of remember it was bad.
It was bad. It was really bad.
But the guys this week signed the
I want to do this for you so that you can understand this and understand where I was coming from. At this point in time, I've always known there are a lot of things, but it was also weird that I inherited at that point in my life, that time in my life. Like, what impact I probably got on me. Something about Tyson and how much Tyson at the time, listen to it.
I should stay in shallow waters in this boat.
subsidize every ounce of the production that would happen on television. And at a time when I didn't even know why I was in this.
People were thinking about it.
Right? So yeah, I hated HBO commentary. I thought, you know, at the time, HBO boxing was obviously the gold standard. You know, but when you really think about boxing at that time of production, the only thing that changed over 30 years was like HD. I mean, even the
There he is.
was the same for 30 years. Then you have the time when Larry Merchant gets up and literally starts fighting with Floyd Mayweather during the interview and says, if I was 30 years younger, I'd kick your ass right now. I mean, these are the interviews that we have to listen to when we're trying to watch a boxing match.
The level of boxing is good.
Think about a fighter, right? Fighter has been gone for months, away from their families and away from everything, training, cutting weight, sparring. Then they go in and they have to fight that night, and then you have to, you know, if you watch your fight back, you gotta listen to this bullshit from these
Come
guys,
on,
and then
come on.
you get interviewed, and your interview is this. That's just,
I mean, it's not just about the pay-per-view money, it's about, like, these are legends.
Ella.
And we should celebrate the highest form of, like, accomplishment. These are like Tyson.
so you know who goes in there and interviews fighters? Joe Rogan, right? Who's trained and done everything and has the utmost respect for the sport and the athletes. Or you got like Daniel Cormier, who was a former world champion himself, who's actually been through it and done it and knows. And those are the type of people that we put before the people that are actually experienced. Not these people who've never been in a fight in their fucking life, right?
Yeah, but they're also both CM Rogan and, like,
Well, everybody does. I mean, if you look at, it's the difference between our commentary and what I feel their commentary. We don't hire paid talking heads. We hire people that have actually been in it, done it, love it, and are super passionate about the sport. And I would say that none of them that ever covered sport back then. I don't know if that was Marv Albert, what Albert brother that was, but he sounded like he's a fan of the sport, or anyway. You got me on this, and once I get on this, I lose my mind.
maybe we wouldn't have a UFC if they didn't fuck it up so bad for the Tyson.
It would be different. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It would be different. There's no doubt about it. All those experiences growing up being a boxing fan helped create what the UFC is today.
You know, it's interesting because humans have been fighting for, and it seems like the UFC, the rate of innovation is just insane. In these last 2 decades, it seems like we've discovered how to do on combat faster and better than at any time in human history.
I agree with that 100%. The first UFC happened in 1993, right? Martial art versus martial art.
Yeah.
And now, over the last 30 years, martial arts has evolved faster than, you know what I mean? And like you just said, combat sports, fighting, whatever you want to call it, martial arts, it has evolved so much in 30 years, more than the last 300 years.
What did you think when you saw this one?
Señoras y señores, el
I
PSP
remember
está de regreso.
everybody talking that this fight was going to happen and there was going to be no rules and all this other stuff. And we're like, there's no way, that's bullshit. And then we ended up at some guy's house that night in Boston and watching it. It was happening and it was fun and it was exciting and everything else. And then I sort of fell off.
Vámonos. ¿Qué dice un Rooster? Pura vida, mi bro. Pura vida, pura vida. Estamos hoy acá. El torneo de los 4 campeones. Vamos a ver qué sucede el día de hoy. ¿Cómo está todo? ¿Cómo está la people? ¿Cómo está la family? Va todo el mundo enfermo aquí, Dios mío.
One of my buddies who's a coach here in town just did jiu-jitsu for the first time yesterday.
No sé, torni all'armito del
Qué plaga, man. Voy a echarme de todo esto más. pedazo de hacha, ¿no? ¡Tome! ¡Tome! Así le voy a cualquiera. Ahí, yo vengo saliendo del brete, más también. Si le creo, cansadón del viaje aquel que me contó. Madre, pobre el NPC, madre, el aldeanillo, madre, todo flaquillo y yo matándolo, weón. Tío, madre, este juego tiene varios errores. Tome. Quemado, mucho sol, madre, que andaba en una poza o algo. Puta, eso sí es feo, madre, usted queda como con calor todo el día y como insolación, madre. Una sensación horrible todo el día, más si le creo. Sí, eso sí le doy la razón, man. Ah, pero él quería vacaciones, él quería ir de paseo. Sí, qué chulo, man, qué dichoso. Ya no aguanto, ya me he dormido, ya no aguanto el calor. Ah, sí. Sí, pero también ha estado indecente el calor, mayo. De paso metido en la ofi. Primero bichón. Ok, vamos a let's go for the first champion. Dracón. Aquí dice Rooster, ponga sus apuestas. Vamos a ver qué tal nos va con Dracón. Ah, se agradece la honestidad. Pues puña. Gracias. Hombre de poca fe, mae. Vamos por Dracón, vamos por Dracón. Lo primero, quitarle el escudito. Ven ese escudo, necio. Ahora bien. Voy a aplicar la 77-14, Rooster. Ah, él también. Ay, ese ay, y puta, lo que me bajó un pachazo. Uy.
I have a ship, a good one. What I need is
Lo recluté. Dice, semejante bicho tan fuerte, weón, para el barco. ¿Qué dijo Rooster? ¿Qué dijo? Apostó en mi contra, mae. Lo estoy viendo, mae, lo estoy guacheando. Mae, sí, en vez de matarlo lo recluté, weón. Y que lo dejé a un toque con la patada. Si le hubiera hecho un combo, lo mato. Si no me acuerdo, no pasó. Y manda, weón. Es por acá. Como ya durmió, mae, no le acepto que se duerma temprano hoy. Sí, weón. Ma, anoche me pegué un balazo, bro. Un balazo así a la billetera, ma. Compré, bueno, el Apple Pen que ocupaba, la capturadora y el cable de sonido que ocupaba para la capturadora, ma. Los descuentos estaban buenos, ma. No podía dejarlos pasar. Vamos a echarnos a Aristaos. Second champion. Here we go. Second champion.
Aristeos found you.
¡Ay, se lo echó el lobo!
Potter,
Alexios, what are you doing here?
I came to kill him.
He wouldn't have been a challenge for you. But I'm glad our paths have crossed again.
This is the last place I expected to find you.
I left Stentor with the greatest responsibility a man could carry. I couldn't leave him to face it alone.
How thoughtful.
Killing these champions will weaken the Athenian hold on the region and destroy the rebels' morale.
You came all this way to help Stentor. Good. He needs it.
It's about time I started protecting those I care about.
You're right.
Mateo, otro campeón.
You've changed so much.
This is who I've always been. You just weren't there to see it.
I will never be able to change that. But I can do something now for someone who needs me. There are things Stentor must hear to succeed.
Yeah, but I mean, this is the type of shit that went on in the early days. This guy who was one of the owners of Affliction.
I wish you helped me back in Sparta.
Not a good.
But Stentor does need your help now, even if he doesn't want to admit it. Stentor is as much your family as I am. You can still be there for him.
I will.
He may hate me, but I'm glad to have met him. In a way.
Lo maté. Lo maté.
Alexios of Sparta.
Uf, Alexios of Sparta. Ve, yo lo maté, mae. Yo lo maté. Pero este lugar, yo ya vacié este lugar una vez. Otra vez está lleno. Que sí, Rooster, que sí. Vamos 2-0, ¿verdad? Rooster dijo que yo moría, no he muerto. Tienda Rooster, tienda mae. Manda huevo, sí, güey. Mato enojado. Vamos por Nesaya. Vamos, Don Rooster, vámonos. Pero no, ¿cómo que no he matado a ningún champion? Yo maté al grandote dragón y ahorita acabo de matar a este. Yo recogí las cosas del cuerpo muerto de él. Yo lo maté. lo acabé en batalla. Vámonos. No, yo no dejé ninguno vivo. Yo no sé de qué habla. El jueves voy a ver Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. Por fin, más la película que más estaba esperando. Como la película que más esperaba en los últimos 2 años, fuera de John Wick. Mucho hype, man, mucho hype, estoy hypeadísimo. La cagada es que yo quería verlo en IMAX o en inglés. Aquí solo las pasan en español, man. Y pero di, hacer viaje, pues, estoy enfermo, no puedo ir a Grecia. Ni a ningún otro lado. Hoy me he sentido mala tos, brutal. Pero he estado escupiendo más flema y ahorita me siento un poco mejor que ayer. Ahorita me empastillo y tengo Tapsin Noche que son brutales. Ah.
This is it.
Y man, entonces, ay, Dios mío, Dios mío. ¿Sabes qué? Ya me cansé. Quémense, desgraciados. Quémense. Vea, Rusia, vea cómo mato perros, madre. Vea cómo mato perros. Vea, me los eché a todos. ¿Quién más quiere pelear? ¿Quién más quiere pelear? ¿Ustedes 3 quieren pelear? Ahorita voy a matar caballos, madre. Uy, veo cómo se dice Alexis, madre. ¿Alguien más? Este compita es bueno, ma, este compita.
These tracks don't look human. They lead away from the camp to the north.
What? Algo pasó aquí, weón. Por algo tantos lobos.
This hut must be Nesea's. I guess she prefers the quiet of the forest over living in the city.
I work just as hard now as I did back then. The difference between back then and now is I don't have to do a bunch of shit that I don't really like to do, like budget meetings. I don't like budget meetings. I sat through enough fucking budget meetings, horrible budget meetings, horrible. You know, we're losing, billions of dollars a year, and I'm in these budget meetings. So I get to pick and choose what I do these days. Back in the early days, you don't get to pick and choose. You have to get involved in everything. Literally go line by line, every fucking number of the company and where the money go, how can we save costs, how can we do this better, how can we, they are brutal, and they're multiple times a week.
Que nos hace falta algo.
This fire's fresh, and the food's still simmering. Nesea can't be far away.
When I hear them say, I want to work for myself. I want to create my own schedule. I want to do all this. If that's your thought process going into it, you're never going to be successful. You have to pay attention to every single detail of the business early on. You're involved in everything. There's no days off. There's no birthdays. There's no fucking Christmas. There's none of that shit. I literally moved the birth 12 fight coming up, and they're like, yeah, your son can be born in this date. Yeah, that's not gonna work. We're gonna have to take him earlier. So,
There stalks the mighty hunter.
Ahora sí, don Rusty, para ver si usted deja de difamarme, mae. Hay que va a matar a este perro, mae, si me molesta. Mato violento. Don Rooster. Ah, ¿en serio? ¿Me sale con un oso de mascota? Señora, ¿usted no me ha visto? Ok. Okay.
And I think that if anybody can do it right, it's us. So why not take that challenge?
It's actually why I'm here. I'm going to the spear for the first time. Because I'm hanging out with Darren in our house. We put together the thing that's in there now.
The hunt will save you, outsider!
La madre estaba tranquilita con su osito, pero aquí nadie está tranquilo hoy. ¡Oh, qué clase de hachazo! Venga. Bro, creo que no estoy seguro, desconozco el dato. Qué raza chazo, man. Qué buena barrida se hizo esta madre. I don't want to kill you, but I will have to. La iba a reclutar, pero ahora sí, ¿qué dijo Rooster? Esto no es que la maté, ¿ah? When tenías muchas ganas. Véala, aquí está, madre, véala, digamos, véala. Véala, madre, véala, sufra. Mato violento. Capaz que su mamá y su hermana me están escuchando hablando paja, madre. Voy a controlarme. Nos falta el último campeón, madre. En media hora nos hemos echado a todos los campeones. Vamos a ordenar ya.
So they literally had a VHS machine and a TV, and there were a million cases. So I didn't know.
Ah, bueno, puedo hablar paja.
These definitely have these we don't need. Let's sit there and go through every single tape. Popped in the tape, and there was an interview on the Ivory Peter Wayans show. Right? The oldest Wayans brother, and he had a talk show. And he had Joe Rogan, the guy from Fear Factor, on the show. And he was promoting Fear Factor. And he was talking about how people think that these guys are
Yeah.
what UFC fighters would do to these martial arts guys.
Va en caballo o algo, porque va rapidísimo.
I was like, this is exactly what I want. A guy
I don't want to be spotted here.
to speak his mind and knows his sport inside and out. But more importantly, is so passionate about it. So when you see Joe Rogan on camera, I was talking about the paid talking heads they had in HBO boxing that were terrible. Joe Rogan,
So you've come to face me. It was a mistake.
and so early on, so on my way on the
Stop
Holy shit, pero ¿por qué algo salió volando ahí? Dios mío.
fighters getting up to 330.
Esta madre parece ser la única digna oponente de todos. Uy, si no me hubiera curado y me mata. Que no se cure, desgraciado. Por Rustem, ya, voy que esta es una digna oponente. Ve, parece que es una cultista. Y véala, está viva, véala, Rooster, véala. Está vivo, véala. Y ya lo que le aplico, véala, le aplico la 13-14. Véala. ¡Tome! ¡Ah, el corazón! ¡Tome!
You're done making trouble.
Resultó ser una cultista, mae. Muy bien, muy bien.
Getting canceled for something.
Nivel 43, Rooster. Sí. A lo que hicieron Ronaldo. Sí.
I got
Sí.
killed over that. That's such a.
Sí.
You're a good man.
4 champions, 4 kills.
That was calm.
Here we go!
Este combo va a ver que yo vengo inyectado. Oh, tome.
Yeah.
Before I would do that to my people. It's just never, none of that type of stuff is ever going to happen while I'm here. You can't say what's going to happen when I leave, but when I'm here, the people who are with me and have been with me, they know exactly what's up.
Vamos a
And
ver
Joe
qué
knows what's
tipo
up.
de herramientas o artefactos
And
tenemos
again,
nuevos.
it's a two-way street. Joe Rogan has been very loyal to me, and I am very loyal to Joe Rogan.
Lorenzo, another guy you close friendship with. You seem to have been extremely effective together as business partners. What's the magic behind that?
Yeah.
How can you explain that?
I love him. Lorenzo and I work really well together because we have two different personalities, right? I'm the guy that always
Ma, es que ese casco no me promete, ma.
You just lost $10 million. Lorenzo, you just won $10 million. It never changed.
Qué bueno es esto. Es Dracón.
So we
Qué bien los de
all
Dracón, ma,
balance each other out. There's a lot of things that he's really fucking good at. There's a lot of things that I'm really fucking good at. And they're both on the opposite sides of the spectrum.
So that level-headed thing was useful when yes, it was losing money and there's unknown whether it's gonna survive.
Yeah.
Those are points.
Este está pichudísimo. No se malinterprete, pero este nos da mejores cosas.
At the time, the casino business was cranking, right? The station casino was killing it. And stations,
La de
their money
Nesaya.
from stations is what was funding the
Vea, va
UFC.
con el verde de los brazaletes,
Then,
man, qué pichudo.
the 08-09
Eso es todo
crash,
sencillo. Eso no
the
es eso.
UFC was killing it in 08-09, and you know the casino businesses were hurt.
Las sandalias de Aquiles.
Timing on
Holy
everything, the way
shit.
that it all worked out, couldn't have worked out better for them, and obviously for all of us.
Ay, parece como la de la película. El uniforme de Aquiles era negro.
And how big it is, and how far it reaches, and how many people it touches. The Fertitas brothers.
¿Qué me dijo? ¿Qué me dijo? Ah, ¿qué me dijo Rooster?
They've spent like
Vamos a ver qué misión
$40
hacemos.
million,
Estoy emocionado hoy.
and look at how many
Van a
lives
ser las sons
that
de
investment
Conqueror.
has changed
To kill.
over the last 25 years.
Gates of Atlantis. Delivering the champion.
And it's also crazy just
Upgrade the
business,
spear.
just the effect it has on
Estas misiones no sé dónde están.
humanity in terms of this is what we do. We're descendants of age that fight. And this is like the organization that catalyzed the innovation.
Mae,
And how we fight. It's crazy. And you can create a whole new sport.
All over the world
¿a
participate.
qué se refiere, bro? ¿Recuperado de qué?
Literally, there isn't a place on earth that we can't get a fighter from now.
Ah, no, no. Todavía estoy un poquito mejor, pero estoy botando ya. Me ahogo cada rato. Mae, estamos cerca de esta misión. Ojalá hacerla.
So behind the scenes,
Mae, tengo ganas de ir a comer picadillos así de pueblo, mae, picadillos clásicos.
they're very
Carnita, mae, racache. No como papaya, bueno, pero me mando. ¿Quién dijo miedo, mae?
they're trying to
Todo,
get
todo, mae. Empanadas de chiverro, las que Hazel compra ya, que sí, ya sabe que me vuelven loco.
if we did, we'd be the WWE. Okay?
Mae, quiero...
You do.
Ojalá pueda hacerme un pick-up, mae, para poder llevar la parrilla. Y cuando voy allá, mae, ¿qué clase de asado les hago, mae? Ya es diferente, digamos, si yo llevo todo el equipo, mae, ya es diferente porque ya yo sé cómo tratar las varas y...
Then the night you
Brutal, mae, brutal, brutal.
I put on the best live event that I possibly can.
Le prometo que reunimos a toda la familia, mae, como con los tacos de birria. Ah,
Once that door shuts,
me quebré la espalda a ese perro.
that's one of the big
Ese mae se venía riendo, ¿qué le pasa?
in these other organizations, the inmates run the asylum, right? They don't want to play that. These other companies don't push, and they don't do this. You know?
No sé por qué ese mae vino aquí, pero...
The best possible matchup
By
that we can
Zeus!
make.
I would have been a goner there if it wasn't for
In
you.
this business,
Lucky I came by.
you might
Pleased
be
to
an
make your
older fighter,
acquaintance. I'm
but
Epi.
if you're still ranked in the
Well,
top 10,
Epizilos, but my friends call me Epi. Not that I have friends,
you know the
necessarily.
killers are coming
I'm
out,
Alexios.
and they want
Sure,
your position.
you have the look of someone used to being out in the world.
The veteran that you are, have to prepare yourself. to
You
go
look
in.
like you shouldn't be outside on your own.
Everybody was
At all.
saying we made
It can't
the
be
fight
helped.
and
I've been overcome with adventure. I have, in my possession, a Mycenaean tablet that leads to a sacred burial site.
the entire
I'm
thing.
calling
Toriak-
it the
and then
Cave
Toriak
of the
goes
Oracle.
and does what he
Good
did
for
that
you.
night.
Mycenaeans were known for their elaborate grave sites, full of precious things.
How precious.
Ancient jewelry, ceremonial swords and daggers, so very precious. If you
Mae, no me
escort me,
gustaron esos
I'll show you.
pantaloncillos.
You know, and they're
How can I turn down a promise of precious
La
things?
carota, la carota.
The fates have...
No me gustaban esos pantalones, vamos a cambiarlos.
Knew for a fact that Israel was going to win that fight.
Yeah.
Here comes Strickland. And we could go on for days with this. You know what I mean? That is what it takes. Legendary fights. That's what builds stars and legends.
Arguably, Conor McGregor with Joe Aldo.
Yep. Conor McGregor with a bunch of people. People said he couldn't wrestle. People said he wouldn't be able to take it. Well, it was. Nate Diaz against Conor McGregor. You know what I mean?
And Conor McGregor against Khabib, underdog, probably. But if you won, there's an opportunity to win. If you won, that's legend for me. He's now in the conversation for the greatest of all time, without argument.
And if you look at the way that Khabib ran through so
Deliver
many
you onto my path. Thus we travel together.
The fates have been known to have a sense of humor.
Happening upon you, hero, is fortuitous.
Glad to hear it. So, you dig through book roll?
No. Well, yes and no. I dig through dirt, too.
That's what farmers do.
I uncover our history. Sometimes, hopefully this time, it will uncover ancient wonders.
Hate to break it to you, but clay pots and dirt aren't that wondrous to most.
I've dedicated my life to it. It's so much more than treasure to be looted.
Is it though?
It's who we are. Knowing where we come from tells us where we are.
Uy, se fue dándome un guantazo. Oh, qué muerte, bro.
You educated people and your riddles.
Some people don't care about the past. They only
What
want
a
to
death.
steal something that will make them a few drachmi. Imagine that.
Hard to believe.
Nah, está
My peers are
¿Mm?
no more than treasure hunters and art dealers.
Well, you did mention precious jewels.
These ruins and relics are notoriously hard to find. I found this one through clever searching and deduction.
Tell me more about it.
Mycenaeans held specific rituals. Some tales speak of objects made by the gods.
Yes, the gods like to play their hand on occasion.
This mysterious. How would you like to have had the gods help you in battle?
A good warrior doesn't need any help from the gods, or anyone else.
True, true. But think of what we might find there.
You
Pues,
think
arma
we'll
rostero.
find something with his power?
See? Now are you interested?
I certainly am. The Oracle of Trophonios. I wonder if the cult's working here too.
Holy smokes.
And I think that it makes that sense of, holy shit, I really, MVP when he came, they were probably...
What's this?
Stay back.
They seem drawn to this place. I hadn't expected that.
Does this have to do with... whatever that name was you said?
The Mycenaeans? I don't see how they could know. It must be related to Trophonios. I'll observe them and see what I can learn.
Fine. I'll search further inside.
Wait! Take this steely piece. See if there are markings that match it.
Say some interesting shit. Yeah, Kayla Harrison, by the way, is a badass. I can't wait to see what happens.
She's jacked, man. It's crazy.
Anda, weón, usted. Ah, no, se tiene que ir a dormir, lléguele, bro.
Ridiculous question, but... Who's in the conversation? We talked about John Jones, but what are the metrics?
He destroyed everybody in light heavyweight, which at the time was weight class in the company, in the sport. And then I moved up to heavyweight.
Ciao, ciao.
Won easily at heavyweight. And when you look at a guy and you look at what he was doing outside the octagon at the same time, John Jones, there's no debate. Nobody can debate who's the greatest of all time. It's absolutely positively John Jones. He's never lost. No, he's never been beaten in the octagon ever.
So that's one of the metrics, like pure sheer dominance. But there's others, right? You could losing sometimes is a catalyst of greatness.
I don't disagree. But when you've never lost,
Not much of a burial site. Mules are buried in higher places of honor.
His longevity. How long because sometimes with a lot of these guys, the sport passes them by. You get younger guys that are faster, this, that.
The steely piece looks like it can be placed.
Nobody's been able to beat John Jones. Oh, and the other thing that you measure is, you said dominance. It's true. If you're this guy that has unbelievable power, you're just going in, you're just fucking knocking everybody out, and nobody's ever pulled you into the deep water before. That was when my opinion of John Jones started to change. Gustafson took him into the deep water. Gustafson hit him with some shit he'd never been hit with. Gustafson tested him and put John Jones in a place where I bet if you sat down and interviewed John Jones, going into the deep rounds of that, John Jones thought he was going to die. You know what I'm saying?
And he's willing to go there.
He was willing to do whatever it took to win that fight.
And it breaks my heart because he beat DC, and DC is one of the greatest of all time.
That's the thing too. And I believe that DC doesn't get the credit he deserves because of the John Jones thing. When you look at DC and what he's accomplished, right? And John Jones beat him twice. It's undeniable. You can hate all you want. John Jones is the greatest of all time.
Do you think Khabib was tested enough?
I think that Khabib had the potential to be in the running for that. He just didn't stick around a lot. First of all, he had injuries that he should have been where he got a lot sooner had he not had the injuries that he had and the setbacks in his career. But there's no doubt, Khabib is one of the all-time greats.
What's the good, the bad, and ugly of your relationship with Conor?
There's literally no ugly. Conor McGregor has been an incredible partner to work with. Everybody thinks that if Conor showed up to things on time, there wouldn't be one fucking bad thing I could say about Conor. You know what I mean?
Only being late to shit.
If you fucking said, put a gun to my fucking head, right? Said, don't lie, motherfucker. Tell me all the bad things about Conor McGregor. I'd say the guy doesn't show up on time. That's it. If Conor McGregor showed up to shit on time, sometimes he does. Sometimes he does. He's been a great partner. If you look at what a huge superstar he became, the fights that he was involved in. Let me tell you what Conor McGregor never did. He never walked in a room and said, Conor, this guy just fell out. We want you to fight this guy. And he was like, no way, I'm not taking this fucking risk. I'm at this point in my career where my money, my this, my that. He was like, book it, let's do it. You know, he'd always say, let's do it. The other thing that Conor McGregor never did, no matter how big he was or whatever it was, when we were heading into a fight, oh, Conor, this guy just fell out. Aldo fell out. We were looking for another. Yeah, I'll do it, but I'm gonna need another fucking $200,000. I'm gonna need another $1 million. Conor McGregor never did that kind of chicken shit, bullshit kind of stuff. He never did any of that. Conor was as solid a guy as you could possibly work with.
Just fuck it, I'll do it.
I'll do it. Literally, there's actually a scene because we were filming something. I don't know if it was embedded or what we were filming at the time. Me and Lorenzo walk into his house that he rented here in Vegas, and I'm pretty sure it was when Aldo fell out. And we're telling him this, that, and we're looking at some options. He says, I'm going to the gym. When I'm done working out, let me know. He just woke up out of bed. He's in his fucking underwear. And he gets hit with this. And he's like, all right, I'm going to the gym. Let me know when I get out who I'm fighting. Doesn't care. Doesn't want to know. Doesn't want any more money. Nothing. Fucking shows up and he delivers. Yeah. So, Conor has been incredibly successful. He's made a lot of money, and, he's had his ups and downs outside and inside the octagon. But as for a guy who was, on the dole and was a plumber, he's actually a really smart businessman. He's been one of the best partners that I've ever had in the history of the sport.
Yeah, an important part of the history of the UFC.
Big.
Opening up to all kinds of new eyes.
Yep. He literally, set Europe, Australia, Canada, and many other parts of the world on fire, man. He was our first legit megastar.
And I personally think he doesn't get enough credit for just how good he was as a fighter. And people love to talk shit about him. I suppose that's part of his magic.
But it comes with success.
Yeah.
When you're successful, there's always people out there that are gonna talk shit. You know, you always have a bunch of know nothing, do nothing, fucking losers that love to talk shit. Yeah, listen, the thing that you can't
This
do
is
avoid magic.
unexpected.
You know what I mean? This is what we're talking about. When you talk about being a legend, Conor McGregor needed Habib. Habib needed Conor McGregor. You can hate each other as much as you want, but you have to fight these other legendary bad motherfuckers to yourself become a legend. I mean, it's like John Jones needed Cyril Gane, right? And Cyril Gane needed John Jones, because if Cyril could have beat John, the first guy, if anybody can ever figure it out and beat John Jones, it's a big deal. And it's almost like your obligation as a fighter, right? And when you think about John Jones became who he is today, and the reason I'm sitting here telling you how great he is, because all these other guys gave him the opportunity to beat him, right? Or they beat John. It's all about giving these other guys the opportunity. Saint Denis, right? Poirier gave him the opportunity to come in.
Something's in the way.
That's how this all works.
It's the two of them together, the two fighters together.
You have to have them both. Listen, I could line up a bunch of no-name songs that John Jones could run through. That's what they do in all the other organizations, right? We would have nothing to fucking talk about.
That's why, luckily, the perfect record in the UFC is not as important as who you fought, how you
So
fought.
true. Why? When you have a perfect record in the UFC, holy shit, right?
Yeah.
That's what you would. When you can have a perfect record in the UFC, you are absolutely one of the most special athletes on planet Earth.
You and Trump are friends. I just talked to Ivanka last night about her experience in the Miami event. She loves it. She's training too. We were talking about getting girls to train.
The kids are trained, yeah. Her father's the biggest fucking fight fan on the planet. Calls me all the time to talk about the fights, and Don Jr. said that's like the only guy on earth that he bros out with. Like, you know, it's funny when you talk about how powerful fighting is, right? This last Miami event, the president of Ecuador and the president of Spain both posted about the fights, right? Habib beat Conor. It was on FaceTime before he even made it to the locker room. Trump, sitting president, ex-president, watching all the fights, calling us, talking about the fights. Valentina Shevchenko, every time she goes home, she meets with the president. The list goes on and on and on. The most powerful, Elon Musk, Zuckerberg. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. The most powerful
This is more elaborate than I thought.
When did you first discover that Trump loves fighting?
So I first discovered that Trump was a big fight fan. Obviously, you saw him part of all the big. You were talking about how big boxing games were. He was part of all the big fights back then. But when we first bought the UFC, this thing was so bad. Venues. And we ended up doing, our first.
This is more like it. Let's see what we have.
About this. At that time, Trump ran here, UFC ran. I mean, I can't go low enough. And he had us at his venue, done back to back. Showed up for the first fight of the night, and stayed till the last fight of the night. Then after that,
Won't
any good
budge.
thing that would ever happen to me in my career, whether it was we were on the front page of the New York Times at one time, and he said, "Congratulations, you guys are gonna do it." Little things like that, but that are big things and mean a lot, especially coming from a guy like him.
Like he saw something like this is gonna be.
He definitely saw it. And,
The markings match
then
Episton.
comes 15, 16, whenever it was, I don't remember. But he called me and he said, "Listen, if you don't want to do this, I completely understand. But I would be honored if you would speak at the National Republican Convention.
This statue depicts a warrior. Epi will want to see all of this.
Everybody told me not to do it. Do not do it. But I was like, why would I not do this? This guy's been great to me, you know, and I did it. And our relationship is just like, you know what I mean? I consider Donald Trump to be one of my very, very good friends.
Any favorite stories?
I mean, there's so many stories. I mean, once he won the election, like I'd be at work and I'd be down the hall, it was in the matchmaking room or whatever. My secretary told the president's on the phone. He'd come running down the hallway and grab the phone and he'd want to talk about it.
Ευλογημένη Έλληνα. Ελέησον.
We're in the right place. Unfortunately, my friend, it's been looted. All I found was this armor.
That is highly significant. The Mycenaeans were a warrior culture, you know. So this must be a warrior's tomb.
Well, it's a decent piece, but where's the rest of it?
This is the kind of guy
That was only one part of the stele. If we can find the others, I can decipher the text.
Maybe that will reveal more armor.
see the shit.
The rest of the stele you speak of could be anywhere.
If I can find clues for where to look, are you interested in finding the other stele pieces?
And be like, hey,
I'll look for the others.
Excellent!
how you doing?
Now, I need to see those markings. Let's go inside.
Unfazed. Like nothing's going on. And he'll start talking to me about this and that and all this other shit.
I didn't expect the stele keystone to actually be a
Never talked about it
key.
publicly.
I wonder what happens when all of them are in place.
Even with only part of the stele, I can start to decipher the writing.
What does it say?
Never heard him like that.
I think that says of the gods.
Really?
I've honored
To
that.
think you were someone yelling for help not long ago.
Look at me now.
I think you're going to need all of them, though.
According to this, it seems that the stele pieces have been deliberately separated.
I wonder why they were separated on purpose.
It doesn't matter if we can find them. Will you look for the other stele pieces?
Of course. Where should I look?
According to this, the next stele is...
That says something.
Oh,
That's the only
better you than me.
That
I
guy
can't
is
swim.
the Milwaukee.
Explore the ruins of Arni.
He's an absolute savage.
Do you think he wins the presidential election?
I don't know, man. It's gonna
Time for me to go.
Politics is the scummiest thing on the planet Earth, man. And who knows how this is all gonna play out. It's all dirty, it's all ugly, and you know, obviously I'm rooting for him and I'm behind him and I hope he does. So we'll see.
Was dirtier the fighting game in the early days or politics?
There's nothing dirtier than politics. Nothing. There's literally nothing dirtier. Right? It is the dirtiest thing on
I
planet
just
Earth.
wanted to get that on record. Another guy who doesn't seem to be fazed by the fire, I've gotten to know him, is Elon. I have to ask you, it's a bit of fun. You were kind of thinking about putting together Zuck versus Elon.
Right.
I trained with both. I did a phone call with Elon and you when you were training on the mat. You really think that could have been a good fight? Respectable.
Two of the most powerful, wealthiest men in the world, right? Lots of guys talk shit, go back and forth and sue each other and do all this. And these two guys are literally talking about facing each other in the octagon and fighting. There's nothing, and they're in a business that's looked at as geeky. You know what I mean? They're tech nerds. They're this, they're that.
It will take some time to go through my notes. Search for the missing stele fragment and then return.
There's a lot of public speculation about this. I was taking serious real time and working. I had projections, I had numbers.
Alrighty guys, I think that'll be it for tonight. Short streaming today. Tonight, 1 hour. Yep, exactly 1 hour.
I'll tell you right now.
We complete our objectives.
Amount of time
We beat the 4 champions.
that it was.
I'd like to go I'd like to go watch the Halo series.
Tyson fighting Jake Paul.
I love Mike Tyson, and I'm not a fan of anybody fighting at our age. But he's a grown man, obviously, and you know he's gonna do what he's gonna do. But at least I know. I talked to his wife a couple days ago, and he's taking it serious and he's training for it. And, you know, so we'll see how it plays out.
Why do you think he fights though? Like, what is that about Is there a broader lesson there about fighters?
Well,
About great
I
fighters?
think that Mike Tyson is actually one of those unique guys who has crossed over. Any of these other boxers.
Bien chicos, eso sería todo por hoy. Cumplimos los objetivos, matamos a los 4 campeones, tenemos que entregar la misión, pero lo podemos hacer mañana. Sacamos otra misioncita, un streaming cortito hoy, pero voy a ir a ver la serie de Halo. Les agradezco por estar acá. Mucho cariño. Les tengo noticias, próximamente haremos streaming desde el Play 5 y desde la Nintendo Switch. Vamos. Vamos a guardar. Nos vemos. Chao, chao.
How do you think it's financial? So how much? I mean,